Hey guys, what's up? This is Nguyen, and I'm here to let you know. And the biggest lesson that I've learned this past 12 months, I'd say, is just learning how to narrow out your circle, man. Honestly, I used to have so many people that I know, all this stuff, but like as life goes by, especially this last year, my friend circle has gotten so much smaller, and so I have a very tight group now, people that I trust, people that I want to keep around me. Grow as a person. I mean, that's a tough question. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of places that I can grow, but I really think this year, I really want to focus on just blocking out all the noise. Just like I said, even this past year, I kind of haven't, my circle's gotten smaller. I just want to be more focused and be in tune with people that are in same that have the same goals as me too. I believe that I'm pretty successful, but I know there's also more things to accomplish, and that's how I've lived my life this whole time. That there's always gonna be that next step. There's always gonna be something more for me to achieve, and that's where I'm at now. As of right now, man, I just want to fight, bro. I think that's probably the biggest struggle, currently right now that I'm going through. I've been training for this past year. I haven't fought in about a year. So I'm just really focused on my training. I'm really focused on dialing in and staying locked in. So I wouldn't say that's the hardest thing, but as of right now, that's what I'm really focused on. And I really want to get back to the cage and prove myself. I feel like I pretty much accomplished everything that I wanted to this past year, actually. But obviously, like I said before, just the last question, I did win my fight though, so I'm really going to be focused on locking that in this year to make up for last year. I want to accomplish everything this year. There's a lot of things outside of fighting that I want to accomplish. I'll be moving here soon. I have my own business that I run. I want to keep growing that. I have merch that I want to keep getting out. So I'm an entrepreneur as well outside of fighting. So I'm going to be trying to build my business, but no matter what, I'm always going to love what I do. So anything that deals with martial arts, I'm going to be looking to grow that. It's, for me personally, I feel like in a general sense, it's important. You want people to like you. If that's in a work relationship, let's say you go to work, you want your coworkers to feel comfortable around you. They don't have to love you, but they should at least like you to a certain extent to where they can work with you. But in my opinion, especially in the fight game, it doesn't matter what people think because you're the only one in there fighting, so it's a little bit more different for me. Obviously, I want people to like me, but not everybody's gonna like me. You can always do something good. You can please somebody, but now they'll have another answer for you. And they'll try to pick at you, so I just try to stay focused on myself and what I think, and especially just the tight group of people around me think, that's what's most important. Mentally burnt out, physically burnt out.
It's dude, don't want to do this shit, whatever.
I mean, honestly, it's being mentally burnt out. It's up and down. It's like a roller coaster. Some days you'll wake up and you're like, all right, it's time to go. I'm grind time. I want to get to the gym at this time. I want to train these clients. I want to make the money. I want to do this. I want to go home. Yeah, but it's full schedule day. But then some days you wake up and you just don't want to do anything, man. So those are the days that you want to try to push yourself the most, for sure. The thing about fighting for me is I love it so much to where when I'm not fighting, I'm still doing something fight related. If I'm teaching fighting, if I'm talking about fighting while I'm commentating, if I'm selling fight gear, for me, I love what I do in and outside of the ring. So I'm never stressed when it comes to, doing what I do, and I signed up to fight. This is what I want to do, but yeah, stress is every day. Stress for me looks a little bit different. I feel like I have a pretty strong mental, but for me, it's just sometimes you just don't want to get out of bed. Sometimes you don't want to go to that training session. Sometimes you don't want to get up and do what you have to do, and that happens with everybody, so family, friends, girlfriend, the people that are closest to you, those are the people you care about the most, so you're always looking out for them. And sometimes it's hard, sometimes it's hard. to not be selfish and, go out there. Because especially with my sport, like I have to be locked in 100% with what I do in the cage or outside the cage, because I'm the only one in there, but, yeah, it can be stressful, but it just depends on the person, man. You got to learn how to balance it out. And if you really care about somebody, then you will make that sacrifice for them. Man, when I was 18 years old, I was broke. I didn't have any money. I didn't live in the state that I wanted to live in. But I will say I was very focused though. When I was 18, I knew that my goal was to be in the UFC. That was the only thing that kind of kept me going. But the difference now is, man, like I built everything that I wanted to build since I was 18 years old. My own business, my own training, training programs, and just everything that I love doing, man. I'm doing that now. So I'm in the process of moving to a bigger place. I'm in the process of just getting more clients. And like I said, at the end of the day, doing what I love, but doing it on a bigger scale. Like I was training when I was 18. I was going to fights when I was 18, but now instead of going to fights, I'm the one commentating the fights. Instead of going to the UFC fights to watch the UFC fighter, I am a UFC fighter. So, and just outside of fighting, just the relationships I built, being in Dallas, man. Being in Dallas is such a bigger city. I'm from Kansas, way smaller city. Not as many people, but here I'm able to network so much. I'm a social butterfly, so I like to talk to everybody, and I met so many dope people out here. So that's a really cool thing as well. Besides fighting, obviously getting my first UFC win, I'm not disappointed in anything, to be honest. If you want me to be completely honest, I don't want to think that way, Now, I'm always going to strive for better. It doesn't matter what I do. If it's fighting, if it's outside of fighting, if it's my business, if it's my relationship with my family, with my friends, I'm always striving to do better. I try not to feel too disappointed about myself because there's no point. Man, I'm trying to even think about what I was like when I was 18. Like, I was still like in high school, right? So like, to really cherish my time with my loved ones, man. Like when I was 18, I was so wrapped up into obviously wanting to become a fighter, all my friends, stuff like that. Like, definitely the advice I would give myself is like, my grandma passed away a few years ago. Like, I wish I could have spent more time with her. I could have spent more time. So just really, my advice would be just really cherish the people that are around you and don't take any moment for granted and, and really be like that. Man, when I first came here, and this is outside of fighting, when I first came here, I had to make money outside of fighting. I was like, what job am I gonna have that's gonna help me fuel my career, my dream of chasing to become a UFC fighter? When I first moved here, I worked at like a marketing firm. I had to show up every single day, 8 a.m., had a suit on, and people bossed me around. I was stuck in a cubicle, and man, I did that job for I was only there for about 2 weeks. And I had to stop. And then I transitioned to a kickboxing gym. And, it was hard doing that, man. Like, it was hard trying to grow my business, doing that all by myself. I used to remember I was training people out of my apartment gym. I didn't even have a real gym I was training at. I was telling people, just come to my apartment, we'll train in the gym. And sometimes it'll be super crowded, but I had really loyal clients. I had really loyal friends, and we stuck to it. And now I have over 35 clients, and we're building a big business. I have my own gym here. So it's nice, man. It's nice to see how far I've grown from those moments. Especially coming from a Vietnamese background, from an Asian background, like my parents are constantly, in the very beginning of my career, my parents weren't the most supportive. They were always, obviously, I'm their son. They don't want me to be injured. I'm in one of the most dangerous sports in the world. I get that. But I just want to I think it's not really for something for me to say, but I just want to let them know that motivated me. That motivated me so much. I worked even harder. It's not like they doubted me per se, but them saying, hey, this might not be an actual career. It's very hard to get into the UFC. Not a lot of people were able to do it. Hearing those actually motivated me, and I want to let them know that, like, you guys actually motivated me in kind of like a reverse psychology type of way, and I love them to death. They're my biggest supporters right now. I don't know where I would be without them in my career, honestly. They've fueled my career. They've helped pay for so many things. They've supported me all the way to the UFC. But in the very, very beginning, that's what actually helped me propel to the next level, is just them kind of like saying, hey, like, a little bit of doubt, a little bit, not much.
Love that.
you know, like I come from a very conservative family, conservative Vietnamese family, and you know, I feel like growing up that way, you have good values. You know, you definitely develop great values, but at the same time, as times are changing, things like that, you know, you're not going to be able to take everything from it. There's not one specific thing that I can really point out, but you know, I'm definitely going to when I raise my kids, when I have interact with different people and things like that, I want to do it my way. You know what I'm saying? And not do it so much of kind of how I grew up. I grew up in a very strict household for the most part.
What?
Yeah, you know, I'm definitely going to be strict with my kids, like how my parents were with me. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I can't really even find anything that I wouldn't really, because I feel like everything that my parents have taught me are pretty valuable, you know? Obviously, not everybody reacts the right way. Some people will overreact. Some people will, you know, but that's a on person basis, you know, and yeah. Obviously, that's very hard, you know, to think about because obviously money plays a big part in everything. But I'm gonna do what I love, no matter either way. And I'm gonna figure out how to do it to make more money. You can say that, but I'm gonna figure out. Maybe I'll have 2 jobs then that deal with fighting, and I'll make 50K, you know. But I don't think I'll ever actually stop doing what I love, no matter what. Maybe I might even have another job that makes more than that, but I'll still always resort back to how can that job help what I love doing? Because I want to just do what I love at the end of the day. That's it. I'm happy with where I'm at right now. Good job with where you're at right now. But let's keep pushing, let's keep building. And there's still a long road left to go, but that just means you have a lot more to prove and that much more to prove to everybody else too. So, yeah. Huh? Man, that was really personal. Man, you should have told me it was that personal. I could have came up with some better answers.